You want to write a short technical description that goes along with your introduction. Now the introduction is going to be mostly this. It's going to contain a bunch of stuff. You want to identify whatever the device or process is. You want to state very clearly who your target audience is. Explain the purpose of your instructions. Describe the device and or the process. What's it for? What does it do? Why does a person want it? If there are any unfamiliar terms, you want to define somewhere in the description what those terms are. Describe the final result that the person will come up with so that they know these are the instructions they need to follow. And if there's any background information, for example, something dangerous, if they need to know the background, if they need to know the parts, is there any prep work to be done, then you need to include this. We'll talk about each of these individual things as we go along through the next couple of slides. First off, let's talk about instructions in audience and purpose. Name the audience and purpose unless it's really, really obvious. For example, a coffee maker. Who are the instructions for a coffee maker for? Well, it's for the people who own that thing and they want to make coffee. Duh. Sometimes, though, it's a little more complex. What if you have a balloon-tipped catheter? And these instructions are for nurses who must inject dye into a vein through a balloon-tipped catheter. Are these instructions for you? Are you a nurse? Number 1. Must you inject dye into a vein through a balloon-tipped catheter? Well, if the answer to either of those questions is no, then these instructions are not for you. You don't have to read them. What if you are an employee who operates a crane and or a rigger? Well, if you are, then you need to read these instructions. Here's another example. This manual is intended only as a guide for the experienced repair person that has completed a Sequest Apex Service and Repair Seminar. It is not intended to educate inexperienced repair personnel or the consumer in all aspects of Apex regulated repair. Who is this for? It is for experienced people who have done a seminar training. It's not just for anybody. Now, why is it so long when the others are so short? The reason is they're actually covering themselves right here. They're saying, yeah, you could do this yourself, but you really shouldn't. So if you follow these instructions and fail and something goes wrong, it's not our fault. So this is a bit of a disclaimer here.